Hello and welcome back. As always, thank you for joining me here today and for your dedication and commitment to your own journey, your own spiritual practice walk, marathon, 110-meter high hurdles, or whatever it looks like for you. Whatever you call it, it's very important that we all do what you're taking time out to do right now. And that's listen to the message of the Holy Spirit. Yes, thank you on behalf of every single living thing for doing just that. It's really the most important thing that we can do, short of listening to the message and then acting on it, doing as instructed. Yeah, let's not forget that part. Because we discover in our own spiritual journeys that it's one thing to listen to a teaching, such as this one. It's one thing to watch a video. It's one thing to attend a workshop or a lecture. It's one thing to open up a book, such as A Course in Miracles, and read from a passage. But if that's all you do, you're not going to learn the material. You know it's true. Each and every one of us has done this in just about every arena of life where we want the result, in this case, awakening, but we don't want to do the work. We don't want to put in the effort required in order to obtain the result. For all of us here as students of A Course in Miracles, this is a very, very important point because it's in the doing that we really learn. It's in taking the ideas, and yes, it's important to have some understanding of them with the intellectual thinking mind. Sure, that has value, but it's in the doing of the work where the real learning occurs. Why is that? Our experience shows us, it demonstrates to us, it proves. You want proof? Prove it to yourself. Mm. Prove it to yourself that these ideas are true. When we put these ideas into practice, our experience shows us. And that is a powerful teacher. That's how we learn viscerally, experientially. And incidentally, you don't even have to have a full grasp of the metaphysics of this course in order to forgive. Start right now. Doesn't matter if you understand it or not. In fact, it may be better if you don't. Just start doing it. Start doing it. You'll understand it. Your experience will teach you. It will show you. Much is made here, and if you've been around course communities for a while, you'll know that much is made about what we refer to here as the metaphysics, the ideas, the meaning of this course. And it's very common for people to read this course and think, what is actually going on here? What is this dude even talking about? This makes zero sense to me. There is no world. There is no death. I'm not a body. What the actual is going on around here? You may have had just such a reaction. I think it's pretty fair to say that most, if not all of us, have at one point or another. The ideas presented here in A Course in Miracles are the opposite of what we're raised and indoctrinated to believe here in the world. And why wouldn't that be the case? This course aims for us to correct our perception. We see things completely upside down and backwards. This course helps us to clarify our perception, to turn it right side up. Right side up. It's upside down. It is upside down. You don't have to want your world to be turned upside down. It is upside down. Want to turn it right side up? Perfect. Then keep going. The central practical piece of doing A Course in Miracles is forgiveness. This is not forgiveness as the world sees it. It's not forgiveness as it may have been practiced upon us by our mom and dad. My mother is a classic example of forgiveness with strings attached, such as, well, I forgive you, you little miscreant teenager, and I did a lot of stuff. I forgive you now, but you little expletive. If you ever do this again, I'm going to cancel your birthday. So you might rightly think, okay, what's wrong with this picture? Well, it's not forgiveness as the Course teaches it. That is forgiveness as it's often viewed in the world as transactional with strings attached. And to sum it up, keeping this false sense of separation firmly intact, one stoops to the level of another. Separation idea, stupor, transgressor, against the, supposedly, against the one who stoops and deigns in their preeminent magnificence to grant forgiveness just this one time with lots of strings attached. If you ever do it again, your birthday is being stricken from the calendar in all civilizations, in all times. These will be the consequences. Oh, and she never ceased to remind me of what I may have done as a miscreant teenager in the 1980s. I know. Anyone else have a family member like that? I use this as an example of forgiveness as it's commonly viewed in the world. This keeps a sense of separation between one forgiving and the forgiven firmly intact. Here, as we study and practice A Course in Miracles, we overlook that artificial gap that appears to exist between two people, overlook it, go right past it with the aid of the Holy Spirit, and see our brother as he is, us, one with us. Forgiveness is done in the mind. It is very different than what the world teaches. And it is this that's the practical centerpiece of A Course in Miracles. What we do when we forgive is incredibly important, and there are a number of videos dedicated to just this subject, to this very subject. And you're welcome to peruse them here. There are a number of excellent, excellent commentaries on the internet here, all about A Course in Miracles and true forgiveness. So it is something about which you can find a lot of information. Understand, though, that you won't get it until you begin to do it. What we were just saying earlier applies. It applies to each and every one of us. Don't feel singled out. You're not an individual. How can you be singled out? Right? Right. There is, in truth, no separation of any kind. When we forgive, we're acknowledging this, whether we put it into words like that in our mind or not. What's going on is your brother, whom you're forgiving, another person or a group of people or an event or anything that disturbs your peace and equilibrium. I mean, anything at all in your experience that's less than 100% completely and totally joyous is an opportunity to forgive. Anything at all. And that's a lot of stuff on the daily, right? We've got lots of opportunities. You could choose to see it as such. That's powerful, by the way. So when we're doing this, we appear to be forgiving someone else. There is no someone else. There's no separation of any kind. We're looking at a situation here where your brother, another person that you're forgiving, is engaging in, well, separation behavior. Could be real harmful behavior, which on the level of form, you have to protect yourself from. Okay, well, do that if you need to. We're talking about what's going on in the mind here. A Course in Miracles does not address the level of form at all. It's a course in mind training. That's very important for us to understand. And when we allow ourselves to begin to grasp this, that's actually when, for a lot of people, this starts to make some kind of practical sense. It's very powerful. So your brother's having a dream of death or harm or separation, and in forgiving, you're not joining it. You're not jumping on the bandwagon of hatred, death, blame, fear, and separation. You're saying, I know. You're not going there. What happens? He can't project that onto you if you don't join in it, in the mind. Can't do that. It's a different way of approaching the situation. Here's what happens because he can't project his stuff onto you. He sees instead a mirror. When you extend love and forgive, your brother sees who he really is. Recognizing that, he returns that to you. So, what's going on for you when you do this is you are protecting the mind by refusing to join in your brother's false interpretation of himself as a separate individual self-sustaining survival unit. You're protecting the mind. You're remaining calm in the face of chaos, which I know we all would like to do more of. You're remaining calm in the face of the storm, so to speak, and you're showing your brother a different way. Want to lead? Do this. Really. One of the cool things about it, actually, that's a long list. There are a lot of cool things about it, but your brother doesn't have to know you're doing it. This can all be done in the mind. You don't have to contact him or her. You don't have to call them up. Who said you had to do that? Who said you had to have a 25-hour sit-down discussion at which you bear all and exhaust yourself in tears? Go through several boxes of tissue. You don't have to do that. It's done in the mind. It's very powerful. Try it. I mean, if you don't start to try it, awakening will take a long, long, long time. So you may or may not be feeling some kind of urgency to practice. And if you're not, that's all right. I mean, we all have busy lives. You've got a busy life, whatever that may look like for you. And it's worth coming back to these ideas over and over again because we're going to get carried away. The tides of the world are going to sweep us off into who knows what kind of situation. And it's very important to remember these practices. When you remember to forgive, bring your awareness back to that and forgive yourself for dreaming it and If it occurs to you, if you're feeling some sort of guilt for not doing it, forgive yourself and let that go. You don't have to continue to harbor any guilt at all. Because God's Son, i.e., all of us, is in fact guiltless, guiltless. So we're seeing things very differently here. You're invited to join me. You're invited to join with the Holy Spirit in the present moment. You're invited to ask your inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, for guidance. You'll get the answer. So it's all a giant invitation to practice. That's really behind each and every one of these videos, other than making a connection with you, which I appreciate and value. It's to inspire continued practice. It's also to explain some of the concepts here in A Course in Miracles, because as we talked about earlier, people can get very, very hung up and give up because they don't understand what's being said. Well, the principles articulated here in the Course are all very simple. We don't find them easy because we think that it can't be that simple. There's got to be something else to it. We're the ones that complicate our entire experience. We do this all to ourselves. Not fun to admit. Well, any resistance that may come up, and expect it, by the way, is the ego. It is. It's the ego that's resisting. So you don't have to continue to listen to it. You could choose right now, in the present moment, to listen to the guidance of our inner teacher instead. And I invite you to do just that. To the extent that you have questions, that is another function of these videos, is so that if you have a question or an inquiry about this course or spirituality of some sort, feel welcome to leave a comment here in the comment thread. As a reminder, this course is, well, it's universal in theme and application, so it makes no difference what your background is or is not. People frequently have questions about this material because they find it so different than what they've been raised to believe. So to the extent that you have questions, please feel welcome to leave them. And please do go ahead and join us here and subscribe to the channel as well. The prompt is over here in the corner of your screen. Click that icon and you'll be invited to join us. So please do that. I take questions all of the time again, so I thank you for joining me.